Matthew chapter 27. And when morning came, all the senior priests and elders of the people took counsel together against Jesus about how they might murder him. And they bound him and led him away, and gave him into the hands of Pontius Pilate, the governor. Then Judas, who had betrayed him, having seen that he was condemned, seized with remorse, returned the 30 pieces of silver to the senior priests and elders, saying, I have sinned, having betrayed innocent blood. But they said, What is that to us? See to that yourself. And having tossed the pieces of silver in the sanctuary, he withdrew and went off and hanged himself. And the senior priests took the silver pieces and said, It's not lawful to put them into the treasury, since they are a price of blood. And having taken counsel, they bought with them the potter's field as a burial ground for foreigners. So to this day that field is called the field of blood. Then that which was spoken by the prophet Jeremiah was fulfilled, saying, And I took the 30 pieces of silver, the price of him on whom a value had been fixed, he on whom those from the sons of Israel had fixed the value, and they gave them for the potter's field, in keeping with what the Lord appointed me. But Jesus stood in front of the governor, and the governor questioned him, saying, Are you the king of the Judahites? And Jesus said to him, You yourself said it. And while he was being accused by the senior priests and the elders, he answered nothing. Then Pilate said to him, Do you not hear how many things they testify against you? And he answered him not so much as one word, so as to extremely astound the governor. Now at a festival, the governor was accustomed to release one prisoner to the crowd, whomever they wanted. And they had at that time a notorious prisoner called Barabbas. So when they were gathered together, Pilate said to them, Whom do you choose I should release to you, Barabbas or Jesus, known as Christ? Because he was aware that they had handed him over on account of malice. But as he was sitting on the judgment seat, his wife sent a message to him saying, Have nothing to do with that righteous man, for many things I suffered today in a dream because of him. Nevertheless, the senior priests and elders persuaded the crowds that they should ask for Barabbas, and they should put Jesus to death. And in answer, the governor said to them, Which of the two do you want me to release to you? And they said, Barabbas. Pilate said to them, What shall I do then with Jesus they call Christ? They all said to him, Crucify him. And the governor said, Why? What evil did he commit? But they kept calling out all the more, saying, Crucify him. And Pilate, seeing that nothing was profited, but rather an uproar was arising, took water and washed his hands in front of the crowd, saying, I am innocent from the blood of this righteous man. You see to him yourselves. And in answer all the people said, Let his blood be on us, and on our offspring. Then he released Barabbas to them, but having scourged Jesus, he handed him over so that he might be crucified. Then the soldiers of the governor took Jesus into the judgment hall, and gathered the whole cohort against him. And they stripped him, and put a scarlet robe on him, and they wove a crown of thorns, and put it on his head, and they put a reed in his right hand, and bowing down before him they mocked him, saying, Hail, King of the Judahites! And they spat at him, and took the reed and kept beating at his head. And after they had mocked him, they took the robe off him, and put his garments on him, and led him away in order to crucify him. And they went out and came across a man of Cyrene, Simon by name, and they compelled this man to carry his cross. And they came to a place called Golgotha, which is known as Place of a Skull. And they gave him vinegar to drink mingled with gall. And when he had tasted from it, he would not drink it. And they began crucifying him, and they shared out his garments, throwing lots. And they sat down and kept guard over him there, and they put up over his head his written accusation, "This is Jesus, the King of the Judahites." Then 2 bandits were crucified together with him, one on the right and another on the left. And those who passed by blasphemed him, wagging their heads and saying, "You demolishing the temple and rebuilding it in 3 days, save yourself. If you are the Son of God, come down off the cross." And in the same way the senior priests, also mocking together with the scribes and elders and Pharisees, said, "He saved others. He's not able to save himself. If he is the King of Israel, let him come down off the cross now, and we'll believe him. He trusted in God. Let him rescue him now, if he wants him, seeing that he has said that, 'Of God I am Son.'" And the bandits as well, who were crucified with him, kept reproaching him. Now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land until the 9th hour. And at about the 9th hour Jesus shouted out with a loud voice, saying, "Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani," which is to say, my God, why have you forsaken me?" And some of those who were standing there, when they heard, said, "He's calling for Elijah." And one of them at once ran up and took a sponge, and soaked it with vinegar and put it on a reed, and he was going to offer it to him to drink. But the rest said, "Leave him alone. Let's see whether Elijah is coming to save him." And shouting out again with a loud voice, Jesus gave up his spirit. And at that moment the veil of the sanctuary was torn into 2 from top to bottom, and the land suffered an earthquake, and rocks were split, and the memorial tombs were opened, and many bodies of the set-apart people having been put to sleep were raised. And they came out of the memorial tombs after his resurrection, and they went into the holy city, and they were seen by many. And when the centurion and those with him who kept guard over Jesus saw the earthquake and the things that had happened, they were extremely frightened, saying, "Truly, this was the Son of God." And there were many women there, watching from a distance, who had followed Jesus from Galilee, providing for him, among whom was Maria Magdalene, and Maria the mother of Jacob and Joses, as well as the mother of the sons of Zebedee. And when evening came, a wealthy man from Arimathea, named Joseph, who was himself also discipled to Jesus, went to Pilate and asked for the body of Jesus. Then Pilate ordered for the body to be handed over, and Joseph, having taken the body, wrapped it in a clean linen cloth, and laid it in his own new monument, which he had cut out in the rock. And he rolled a big stone to the entrance of the memorial tomb, and he went his way. And Maria Magdalene was there, and the other Maria, sitting opposite the burial place. Now the next day, which is after the preparation, the senior priests and Pharisees came together to Pilate, saying, "Your Excellency, we have been reminded that while he was still alive, that deceivers said, 'After 3 days I am being raised.' So order the burial place to be made secure until the 3rd day, in case his disciples, coming by night, might steal him away and say to the people, 'He has been raised from the dead,' and the last deception will be worse than the first." Then Pilate said to them, "You can have a guard. Go and make it as secure as you know how." So they went along and made the burial place secure, sealing the stone in the presence of the guard.